You want a rant from the beast? You're gonna get a rant from the beast.
TF2 viewers, don't unsubscribe, don't leave me, I'm not quitting the old game. Okay, sorry, TF2 gamers are a little extra loyal, so I gotta reassure them, okay? Yeah, Marvel Rivals, yeah, that game is a pretty good game. I love comics, I love melee combat, my multiplayer games. I think that this game could do tanks a little better. I know, it's got Thor. Thor, my beloved, he plays amazingly. I wish his strong ass got the grab, but hey, it feels like Thor, really. You know, you go in there, you fight valiantly, it's Thor. You're playing as Thor. The Thing is nice, you know, he's kind of Chunky Kong coded. You know, Cap and Venom, they're kind of fun, you know. You don't really know what I'm doing with them, don't really care to learn, but hey. Wolverine, he isn't a tank. Wolverine isn't a tank? What? Crazy, yeah, we'll get to that. We haven't really gotten many tanks added. We just got Emma Frost, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like another blonde white woman. TF2 fans, and you'll love this one. I don't really think her silhouette portrays a tank very well. It does not fit her role. The cowards designing her only made her thighs thick. And that's the second additional tank we've gotten post fucking launch, alright? I know they're wanting to save the obvious heavy hitters for when the game isn't doing so well. They want to bust out the big guns on that shit. And I respect they want to introduce these less known characters to the normies, you know? You know, I mean, at least they're adding more tanks than Multiversus did. Oh, but just for the hell of it, I'm going to lay out the 11 tanks that I want to see break into the game. No tiny silhouettes, no weak shit. These some thick boys, brother. This is a list of meaty men. Big meaty men. I think I'm qualified to speak on these matters, right? Right? Yeah. Alright, let's get to it. Before I start going over how much I want more buff men in my life, pause! Let me establish these picks are based on how much I love the character, what they can offer to the gameplay, and any things like fun interactions and team-ups. They can play a factor. It's my list, it's just whatever I feel, okay? That's kind of how it goes here. We have fun on this channel, alright? This isn't based on the characters being big hitboxes and stat sticks and whatever. You know, I read a lot of comics, yeah. I'm not a comic book guy or anything, alright?
Oh, one of those.
I'm not comic book guy, I am his cousin, comic book gay.
But you do like comic books.
Certain kind.
This list is gonna get cooking towards the end, okay? I hope you're fucking hungry. We got some southern cooking coming for you. My god, I'm really gonna lose some of you guys with this one. Number 11 is Rhino. I won't get into any gameplay details really because he's kind of a one-trick pony. And it's really obvious what he'd do. I mean, most of his depictions, he's just like, "Hey boys, I got the big-ass horn. Let me at the Spider-Man." And then he just charges into a wall and fucking dies. I don't know. And I won't go into his playstyle for another reason you'll get into later. Here's the part, though, where I'll lose people, okay? I watched Craven kind of recently, and I'm not gonna lie, it's my new favorite slop. A jacked guy named Sergey going around killing poachers and drug lords. Wow, they could never make me hate you. Oh, you can go to the 9th layer of hell! Anyway, they made the Rhino this weird, hilarious, billions must die incel for some reason, and it kinda worked.
All of our guys are dead.
His action looked fucking tremendously powerful, and the juxtaposition of this fucking absolute dweeb turning into Donkey Kong's mount on steroids was just a real fun time, and honestly, I hope we at least get a voice acted skin for that. I don't want him to have a Hulk baby banner mechanic though, just let his virgin bullshit seep through the cracks of his armor. I'm not getting into the whole mecha Rhino, like, I guess it could be a skin, but I always think flesh and muscle is cooler than robots, so it's only getting recognition from me by the principle that I always like variety and choice. Starting the top 10, we've got M'Baku. No beating around the bush, we're going MCU version. Not only is Winston Duke, wait, is a Gorilla Man played by a man named Winton in a game that's an Overwatch clone, quote unquote. Okay, not only is Winston Duke a beacon of charisma, my subscribers, hey, you, become a subscriber. Now! No, I'm a straight up softie for animals, and I like funny, strong, vegetarian M'Baku way more than the one that gets its power from murking gorillas. Also, there's a weird whole villainizing gorillas thing I'm not cool with on a broader scale that I'm going to make a video about eventually. Yeah, I just watched Black Panther 2 to research the script, and I'm really glad I did. It's a great movie. M'Baku really shined, even in a huge cast of great characters, because he's him. Tangent time, okay, so much so I enjoyed that I hope he becomes the next Black Panther of the MCU by the time he's added to the game. Specifically, before he's added to the game. Some people say he's too hesitant towards technology, or he's already worshipping Hanuman instead of Bast. I say he's already got a form of armor. He could very well be polytheistic, and spoiler, I hear he'll challenge Shuri, and no way that bookworm is gonna win. A mountain barbarian, half gorilla, half panther Black Panther suit would look fucking awesome. It'd probably look more World of Warcraft than Black Panther, and I'm all about that shit, so bring it on. I don't really have a clear picture of how he'd play. Satisfying club bonk sound effects are definitely going to be required. Definitely a rallying war cry, probably a knockdown. Maybe he could triple down the gorilla motif and have the heavy but fluid movement you get from playing Donkey Kong. That sounds weird, but I like when these kinds of games let you feel like you're playing a different genre, like Hamster from Overwatch. Yeah, that's the only reason I ever come back there. His ult would have to be Black Panthers, but with two giant animal gods appearing. I don't know, I'm just jacked and I love animals, so that's pretty much it. Okay gamers, number 9 is Beast from X-Men. This one actually could be a half tank, half support maybe. I don't know, it's hard to say. They don't really like being too locked into these roles when designing characters, they've said. It's more of a helping you pick who you play as kind of thing. He's all smart, you know. Beast is all smart, he's got inventions and shit. You know, wow. 2 uninspired picks in a row. Amazing! Don't worry, they're gonna get way deeper. All vibes and aura, no vision for how they play, and that goes especially for Beast, honestly. I know the 90s animated version is especially lighthearted compared to his other showings, but put that one in. I like when he's all sing-songy and references smart people shit that nobody understands. It's not even pretentious, bro is just clueless to how no one gets his references. He just thinks everybody's there with him. Here, you want a visual? Just think of like the weird alchemist guy from Shovel Knight. I really wish I had more to say here. Number 8, we got an obscure one. Ka-Zar, the Jungle Lord. Now, originally I was just going to do this as a semi-joke segment and start ranting about how much I love Tarzan, but I didn't expect to learn that he was in ways the first Marvel character they ever made. He absolutely deserves to be in this game. Consider him an honorary number 1 slot. He's had 2 iterations, one from the 30s, and one being his reintroduction in the X-Men's Savage Lands lore. That introduction had him facing some villain owning an emerald mine in South Africa. I hate to be cringe like this, but bear with me. My idea for a moveset is inspired by Rexar from Heroes of the Storm. I know, MOBAs are cringe and no one fucking played this one. Just hear me out. I see Ka-Zar as a pet or a Beastmaster character. Ka-Zar could have a hawk ability that locks on and swoops a target, dazing them for a bit. Hell, it doesn't even have to be a hawk. It could be a pterodactyl, that'd be cool. Archaeopteryx? I don't know. A cooldown to boost his Sabretooth's damage for a little bit. A pet healing ability, and some spear throws. Definitely some strong melee though. Ka-Zar is monumentally important as a character with a shamefully forgotten history. With him being the first Marvel character and his stories championing animal and human rights, he objectively deserves to be a deep cut pick more than any other deep cut pick. Number 7 is Thanos. Despite being my generation's Darth Vader on the big screen, I actually don't know what to say about his listing here. He's a versatile character shown to use his weird Darth Maul Buster sword or just piece up motherfuckers. I think his entire draw is just the raw aura he brings and how straight up fucked his ult would inevitably be. Thanos purely represents a time when the general public saw the Marvel movies as nearly all bangers. or at least like worth seeing to somebody. I really think they're gonna save him for down the line when the game starts dying for the first time. You know, not actually dying, but let's get cheap headlines and clickbait about this game dying, kinda dying. And it will work, especially according to plan. He is Thanos, he is inevitable.
Yeah, it's the Juggernaut, bitch!
Yeah, the only thing keeping him at number 6 is how obvious he is. You know, you mention a Marvel game having a tank, DPS, heal, and he's the most obvious tank there. I don't even know if writing this part is necessary. Gameplay sells itself. His power is that he just dead ass cannot be fucking stopped.
Silly bitch, your weapons cannot harm me. Don't you know who the fuck I am? I'm the Juggernaut!
I don't know what else to tell you. I love that when this game is good, it feels like a power trip. Everyone has like crazy abilities, and the fucking Juggernaut would be power.
Fucking stripper. Oh, it's the Juggernaut! Got your dumb ass!
You know, one thing I don't like about these team-based games, they don't reward you for just doing your own thing and doing really good at it. Like, in TF2, I can just abandon my team and fuck shit up, and it'll be awesome. In Rivals, Overwatch, etc., it don't really work like that, and I want to see that possible with Juggernaut. How do you make that balanced? I'm not a balancer. I'm just a guy with cool ideas. You know, Juggernaut has a ton of history with the characters already in the game, and on this list, for that matter, it's only a matter of time, I think. They're just saving them. It's like Thanos. One reason that this is a top 11 list is because Rhino would probably be best off as a Juggernaut clone for the most part. Rhino could be the same, but with some armor mechanics and a less controllable, more powerful charge. It's really hard to say anything different there, and that's okay. I'm fine with clones as long as they increase the amount of characters represented in the game. As long as they don't pretend they take as long to make.
You can't harm me. Are you a fucking ass? Do you not know who I am? He must not know who I am. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I'm gonna hit you with your own pimp.
Here's a very much slept on pick. Hercules' aura and vibes is always a great time. If you're unfamiliar, Marvel's Hercules is the bro TP of Thor. Better at wrestling and hand-to-hand, but less skilled with his club than Thor is with his hammer. Just as boastful, and for just as much reason. Don't ask, but I always see him as like a bit of an eccentric weirdo who's uncomfortably friendly in the gym, locker room, though that is entirely unrelated to his raging bisexuality. His gameplay could be half Thor and half Hulk. I'm not trying to give everyone on this list a whole moveset, but as we go down, I have more and more ideas. I've got a clear idea for Herc here. His standard fire should be him alternating punches and a few club swings just to mix it up in animation. Make his shift key movement ability an Imanari roll, where if he connects with an enemy, he grabs their ankle and stuns them on the ground for 1 to 2 seconds. I'm not a balancer. Another basic ability would be a suplex, during which enemy healers would also target him due to the confusion of the whole rolling around. He could even have a version of Thor Force, the Olympic Pride, generated by fighting as you should and spent on a Lion Roar Warrior Shout ability. In his ult, he could bear hug up to 3 enemies at once, totally immobilizing them while strangling HP down a little bit. His interactions would be fucking priceless. He could join right in Thor's team up with Cap and Storm. It would be brilliant. I really want to see this one. Yeah, this is another reason it's a top 11. Spoilers, I guess. Colossus' name has already been found in the files, but now there's another list of X-Men circling around, so I don't really know what to think. Fastball Special kind of gave it away, but I'd love to see Piotr Steele get in. One of my favorites, absolutely. I mean, yeah, duh. Something, damage reduction, big haymaker. Maybe he can hit a pose that makes the silhouette larger, and tank others like a shield that way. If we can have 45 DPS characters, surely we can have another simple tank. This isn't Overwatch. New characters aren't just new cooldowns and abilities. It's just as important to add icons, especially the big Russian man himself. This is not a well-known pick from the Winter Guard. Y'all know the Russian Avengers you should totally read up on. The mutant werebear Ursa Major. Part of me is pretty annoyed by the thinly veiled borderline racism, but aside from the alcoholism, Mikhail is badass and lovable. That name familiar? Yeah, it's also Heavy's name because Mikhail, Misha for short, is kind of like the Russian version of how we call people Teddy as like a bear nickname. More you know. He's always shown to be gentle, reassuring, and protective alongside his incredible strength and shit-talking, just perfectly encapsulating the duality that makes bears such endearing animals. I'm picturing him playing like a higher HP, less mobile Hulk with less armor, but he's got healing capability, and his human form could be more melee focused. Ulting would let him charge recklessly like Beast Ganon in Smash Bros, I'm imagining. Could see a command grab like I gave Hercules working too. I mean, if she gets one, why can't these guys? Come on. These gameplay ideas may sound less inspired than other characters I've described so far, but I feel like the base Hulk gameplay could be its own playstyle archetype, and I couldn't put him any lower on the list. Okay, we're down to my 2 most wanted, and they're really equal, so this is number 1 and it's number 2. It's whatever you want to put it as, alright? It's your choice, Burger King. Have it your way. Number 2 is a villain with so much aura. How many times am I going to say that damn word? I forget the murder, cannibalism, crimes against women, and even implied trophy hunting. What murder? The feral freak, Sabretooth. The Smilodon was a hulking, half-ton apex cat, and my vision for Sabretooth in Marvel Rivals matches that to a T. Everyone complained about Logan not being a tank. Why is he not a tank? He's got adamantium and healing factors. What's wrong with a manlet tank? And yeah. Anytime I see these discussions, I just groan. I groan in all knowingness. I groan in my understanding that it's absolutely because if Wolverine were to be reworked into a tank, they'd be taking their future plans for Sabretooth's kit. Wolverine is an anti-tank daredevil, and Sabretooth is an anti-DPS bully. Yeah, you seeing it? You seeing it? You seeing my vision? Let me explain. The premise of Sabretooth is that he's just better than Wolverine. Logan's short, Victor is tall. Logan is strong, Victor is stronger. Logan can take a hit, Victor can take more. The only semblance of a balance is that Logan has a stronger healing factor and retains his humanity. But it's hard to call that a fair trade when that's 2 reasons Sabretooth comes to beat Wolverine's ass once a year. And he's able to do it again. With very few exceptions, Sabretooth is a blatant mismatch with a terrifying record against the Canadian Short King. So like how Thor makes quick work of a Loki when he gets a hold of the snake, Sabretooth's matchup with Wolverine is a crucial part of the character design. Aside from a 4-legged version of Cap's run, his kit could be like a dark reflection of Wolverine. Everything about Wolverine's damage percentage gimmick will be flipped. The less HP a hero has, the more damage he deals. And he'll have more bruiser than a tank HP bar. Just like Thor, who, as a Thor main, I can say I've never really had a problem facing Wolverine. The lower HP is also perfect to reflect that he's not as powerful a character in power scaling as many of the other tanks. He's no planet buster, he's just a bastard, and a damn good at killing. And that would play good as fuck. Also, he'd need the long hair. It looks way more savage. Drax the Destroyer. My longtime viewers know that Dave Bautista is genuinely one of my favorite people on earth. Easily my favorite wrestler of all time, and now my favorite actor of all time. Anybody hungry for some glazed donuts right now? Okay, on to the actual character. I've read some issues of Drax's comics, and I've got to admit the logic behind throwing him in the Guardians group is pretty solid. On a meta level, they're all misfit, slept-on characters that Marvel wanted to do something with, but didn't know what. That really fits him, and also kind of the premise of the game's choices a lot of times. He goes from a vengeful revenant out to kill Thanos in space with a cape, to a genuine moron that eats Infinity Stones like gummies, to just another edgy brute for better or worse. But the MCU, like they did for M'Baku, really chose a casting that filled the character with life, like he's never had before. So where am I going with this? I've come up with a moveset and design for Drax that pulls from the best parts of every design that he's had, and some other medias. Here we go. Yes, he keeps the MCU personality. It's hands down his most likable incarnation. People don't be reading him like that. I've made him a vanguard like everyone thinks he should be, but the design philosophy of Rivals isn't so limited like we talked about earlier. He's more of a bruiser, his health pool isn't huge, but you can still swim some laps in it. His damage is pretty decent, his standard attacks being from the C-axe and heavy axe in his hands. Yeah, I don't like the dagger thing, we're gonna go with a short sword, fits him better. But I'd like to include energy blasts from his days in the Bronze Age comics. how when he's dual wielding, okay, how's he gonna do energy blast when he's dual wielding? Yeah, he's getting breath attacks. Gonna really sell his whole rage thing with it. He's getting the cape from the older era. And the big ass WWE belt. In this design, does it remind you of anything? Yeah, big man, big green alien man. I'm really inspired by orcs here. My vision has his first ability being a whirlwind of blades, and AoE with a short cooldown. He's getting a heroic warrior leap, but not chargeable, fast, and starting with a rising knee attack. So you attack while you jump. Drax is seen grappling aggressively in any fight scene he's got. He's getting a powerbomb cooldown ability that always breaks destructible surroundings, just for extra flair. For the tankier side of things, yet another barbaric shout, though this one is his insane laugh, healing him and giving him more armor and damage. Of course, Gamora and Nebula should be put in one day as well. This is about tanks though. The Guardian films, by all measures, go above and beyond what Marvel movies were thought to be. Those movies are just greater works than the others, and their characters deserve the best. Especially the best character among them. Yeah, I said it. Hope these developers see this, because I'll say it, I'm so confident in this moveset for Drax and Sabretooth both, in particular, that I'll be pretty let down if they actually are very different. That might be an entitled outlook to some, but it's just how excitement and expectations go, I guess. It's a double-edged sword, you know, you get real hyped, you get happy, but then sometimes you just kind of wish things were the way you'd imagined. Alright, so there you go, bitches. 11 rivals to marvel at. These picks are very, very to my taste, and yeah, this is the part where I invite you to the comments section to comment some of your favorite characters that you can't believe I didn't list, and how angry you are, and how I don't really read enough, and yeah. Subscribe for more, because this year is going to go hard as fuck. This video is a bit in development hell, and I love how it came out. We're rolling. I make variety content about games that are good. If you like good games, subscribe. You do. And if you want to hang out and watch me talk shit while playing good games in ways you probably don't, follow me on Twitch. It's proven to make you stronger. If I were you, I would hate to miss greatness, not gonna lie. Sword you can. Ah! Dang old piss, man. He's got a fucking piss chameleon, piss glasses, piss bandana. This boy got a problem, I'll tell you. That boy ain't right. I hate him. He's a freak.